Welcome to episode 2 of the Millionaire in the Mirror series. Today we're going to talk about the 3-circle financial plan, which we're going to do on one piece of paper. I've done this for hundreds and hundreds of clients, and it puts it down on paper so that it's simple enough for everybody to understand. But first, before we do that, I need to talk about that there are 2 types of people in this world, and there's only 2. So the first type is the type of person who saves money first and then spends what's left, as opposed to the person who says that they're going to save but they spend and then they try to save what's left. What's interesting is that the people who spend first and save what's left end up working for the people who save first and then spend. And when you think about that, if people are living paycheck to paycheck, which a lot of these people are, when do you have the extra money to make that change, to get to that next job that you've been wanting and get that pay raise? So when you don't save first, sometimes that puts you in a situation where you're not going to be able to advance yourself as quickly, even though you may be more talented than the next person who got the job that you wanted. You just don't have the ability to move to a different city, take 2 or 3 weeks off before you would get a paycheck from that new company. So we totally encourage people to save first and then spend what's left, and that's how we can make great gains in our financial plan. By the way, my name is Judd Tolmen. I'm president of Tolmen Financial, and I'm entering my 39th year of helping people with their personal finances. And again, this is episode 2 of the Millionaire in the Mirror series. And this is where we're going to show you 3-circle financial plan, which I've been showing people for a long time, probably over 25 years. I got this off a webinar. I can't take credit for it. This was something that John Savage, a very successful financial planner out of Ohio, developed. He spoke all over the nation about this plan and used it in his practice and his agency, and I know a lot of other people that have used it over the years. So the first circle in this plan is the most important circle of anything, and we've kind of already talked about it in episode 1, but this is simply just savings. So savings, I don't care if you're talking to Susie Orman or any financial guru, or you've read a book, you've got to have savings as your foundation for any financial plan. A lot of different ideas on how much you should have. Some people say 9 to 12 months. Others say you should have 2 years saved. Sometimes very hard, especially in the economic conditions that we're in right now, to get to that 2-year mark or even to 9 months. And maybe we've already dipped into the savings, so we need to put it back. But that has to be something that is done systematically, and that you're putting money in there until you get to the amount that you really want and are comfortable with, and we'll talk about that more, but that's the most important part of any financial plan. The second circle, this is where you're going to retire. This is where the bulk of your money is going to come from, whether it's a 401k, a pension, Social Security, any of those items. But there's 4 parts to this. The first one is any house or property that you may have. So some people, I'm out in the rural area of Indiana, so a lot of people have farms and they buy ground. So that's part of their retirement. They own property. They can live off of that property either by farming it or renting it or whatever. So you always will have maybe your house or where you live. Then you may have any other investment property to go along with that. The second leg on this is high risk. You may think you want to dabble in gold, silver, farmers again, in commodities, corn, beans, wheat, but that would be your high risk. The third one would be stocks and bonds. Stocks. Not so much talking about your 401k at this point. I'm talking about, hey, I want to invest in Coca-Cola, or I want to invest in Microsoft. Or I found a mutual fund that I like that's got a lot of different technology stocks in it. So you find that stock, but that's something you want to watch, and it's not something. I mean, I think the whole day trading thing is kind of come by the wayside. Plus, I know how busy everybody is, especially if you're growing your family. that you don't have time to watch those stocks every day and make sure you're on the right track. So that's something that you would put your faith in a little bit, do your research, but the Coca-Colas, the major airlines, all of those blue chip stocks that you can buy are good for that leg. And then the last one, and this is the one that you're probably going to retire with, the majority. Most people now are getting 401ks. Pensions are still out there. They're few and far between. Most state employees, teachers, major people that work for the county, our government officials, they all have, in our state, a pension that goes along with an annuity. So they have kind of a blend in retirement, but they do have a pension. We got a 401k, we got pensions, you may have profit sharing, and we hope that Social Security will also still be there when we go to retire. And for young people today, it may not be what it is right now. It's been adjusted since my birth, and it may get adjusted again. We'll see. But we have to prepare for the worst and hope that it's there, and we have programs that can help offset that if that's not there. So in this circle, second most important, we've got your savings. But almost every financial person will agree with this, that you need 75% of your income when you retire, when you get ready to retire. So let's say you're earning $100,000. You need to provide yourself with $75,000 to live in that same lifestyle. You don't have to completely replace it, although that would be nice. But in order to live in that same lifestyle, we've got to come up with that 75%. We'll go into more information on this circle in future videos. The last circle, least important circle, but it's the one that keeps these other two circles from going haywire. This is also a savings account, but it's more of a long-term. So we're gonna go long-term savings, and it's a special kind of savings account that does a lot of different things. So when we're talking about your first circle, your most important circle, that's your emergency fund. That's when your transmission goes out. That's where you're going to go to get that money to pay those bills that need to be paid right away. We all wake up in the morning, the furnace not working, your refrigerator goes out overnight. Where am I going to come up with that money? Okay, so this is a long-term savings, and it's a special type of savings because it's life insurance with what we call a cash value or savings type account attached to it. So we can build this, and it'll do multiple things through our lifetime. It'll also be a savings account. We just went through a pandemic. Maybe you're depleting most of your savings here, and you could possibly need to dip into this, because our government was very gracious and gave us these small little checks that I don't think were helping pay everyone's bills to begin with. They kind of were a Band-Aid on a very large problem. But with this life insurance savings account cash value, that can give us some long-term savings. And while this 2-year amount in our savings seems to be a lot, we can combine these two, maybe not have as much in our regular savings because it only functions for that emergency account, but use the life insurance savings because it's going to do multiple things. It can help supplement our retirement. It can also give us a place to pull emergency money from. It will also do a major thing and protect our income. It'll protect our income while we're still in those learning years until we can get largely into retirement, and then we can make decisions on, do we still need that insurance, or is it something that we can move that money into another circle and do a better job. So multiple things we can do with that. I love that, when we can take our dollar and have it do multiple things instead of just one, that makes that very valuable. Okay, but notice this is not in the investment circle. This is a supplemental savings. This is your emergency fund savings. So when we draw a line there, these two circles at the bottom, least important or most important, least important, but not unimportant, and they help build your foundation. This is your foundation for your financial plan going forward. You've got to have the savings. Nobody ever disputes that. We can talk about all kinds of things in this investment circle, but the savings is the most important. Now, as you can see, you've got your nice triangle. You've got your investments and your retirement at the top. You've got 2 savings accounts that you can pull from, and then you can have a variety of things that you're going to retire with, including everything in this circle. So that's your financial plan. That's your 3-circle financial plan, 1 page. Most people spend more time planning a long weekend than they do their financial plan for the year. But this gives you a quick glance. Hey, our savings account's getting low. We need to put more money in there. So maybe you shut it off for a while, but you can always turn it back on. Now, all of this works because we have income that will feed into multiple places. Okay? How much should we be saving? And that will depend on how much you've already saved, your age, and when you think you want to retire. But the sooner that we can get started on a plan, the better off you're going to be. Because young professionals today have an amazing gift, and it's worth more than gold because it's time. We can pivot in all kinds of different directions, stay on top of what your plan is, and adjust accordingly in these 3 circles to make sure that you're maximizing your retirement. I have people that come to me 55 to 60 years old, and they've done a good job, but they've limited my ability to help them pivot in different directions, and they may end up working longer than they expected, or their retirement dollars, their spendable income in retirement may not be as much as what they thought it was. So that's where we'll also have a video on. We have a program that will plug all the numbers in, the amount of money that you want to retire with when you get there, the age you want to retire, and let's see what that probability is that we're going to be able to achieve that goal. So you may say, I want $100,000 a year of spendable income plus a little bit for inflation. And when we plug all the numbers in, you may have a 5% chance of actually attaining that goal. We want to get that down to where you have an 80-85% of attaining that goal, and looking at where we can go in these 3 circles with that money so that we can maximize your retirement. Again, my name is Judd Tolmen, president of Tolmen Financial. I'm in my 39th year, and our team at Tolmen Financial would love to help you in any way. If this seems like something that you want to get started, our contact information will be at the end of the video. We'll also have a link to our website at the bottom in the YouTube channel. And please subscribe to us and like it if you thought it was helpful, and tell your friends. Episode 3 of the Millionaire in the Mirror series will be about the 401k, the ins and outs, the changes that were made in 2020 because of the Secure Act. And you're going to be surprised about the things that are going on in the government and the fact that they can change the rules after we've already put that money in an account and are expecting a certain return. But believe me when I say they think that a good portion of that money is already there. So if you've got $1 million in a 401k, just know that you really only have about $700,000 because the government is going to take their share along the way. And all of that is not spendable because somebody's got to pay the tax. Again, thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.